everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy morning to you guys. Happy afternoon, good night, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro Zen. And today I'm reading for the Beautiful Handsome Collective. Hello, Collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Hey, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is in the description box below. Let's get into this read. Please keep in mind that this is a collective read. It is not going to resonate with everybody, okay? Take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. Channel message here is they are saying you caused traumas in your childhood because you wouldn't listen. So you have family members here, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a uncle, cousin, grandmother, grandfather, however resonates in your story. But there are people here that are currently trying to save face. They're trying to do damage control. And the way that they're trying to do damage control here is that they're telling people, the same people that they said that you ain't no good, you don't listen, and you don't do things here. What they're doing now here is they're saying that you are the reason why that the traumas were created in your childhood, basically because you wouldn't listen. So I wanted to dig a little deeper, of course, to debunk that BS here. And I asked on Google, well, what could potentially cause childhood traumas? There are many forms, okay? You have abuse, okay? You have sexual abuse, natural disasters, household substances abuse. You have accidents, institutional racism, military family related stress, community violence, bullying, national disasters or terrorism, neglect, refugee or war experience, separation from a parent, death of a loved one, domestic violence, serious illness or accident, family mental illness, and then also witnessing domestic violence. So again, you're going to have to take your experience in regards to how you grew up. You're going to have to take that, how that resonates here. But there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are at least 17 different types of causes that may cause some form of a child trauma here. I strongly feel for the ones that can resonate with this here, you've experienced maybe a little bit of everything here. But the one that's really sticking out to me here is bullying, community violence, neglect, could be a separation from a parent, family mental illness as well. So this family member or members are very afraid. They don't want to get caught. Despite this happening many, many years ago when you were younger, they don't want to get caught. They're very afraid that there are still some stipulations or there's still some ramifications in regards to them getting in trouble, and they don't want that. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to pass on all of the things that they have done to you onto you as to why they felt very justifiable as to why they did the things to you here. That's not working out, of course, because I'll give you an example. Let's say a child is being bullied. And this particular child is being bullied to do, let's say, eat a type of food, a certain type of food that they don't want to eat. Well, if you have grown up with a narcissistic parent or parents here, you would know that sometimes that narcissistic parent would actually cook a food that they know that you don't like. Let's say you don't like broccoli, or you don't like liver, or you don't like chicken, or whatever the case may be. They know that you don't like that type of food, but in order for them to prove a point, not only to you, to themselves and other people, they're going to do what they need to do to ensure that you are ruled by their iron fist, their abusive fist. You're going to do as they say, when they say, how they say it. You're not going to respond back to them. You're not going to question them. You're not going to give them any lip back. This is how they wanted you to live a life. They wanted you to live a life full of just anguish. They were telling people that you were hard to maintain, or you were hard to keep in a, I'm trying to think of a word. They were telling people that you were hard to manage. Okay, we have the spider here, but we also have the lantern in reverse. So they weren't telling the truth as to why you were acting out in the way that you were acting out, because they were causing things for you to act out in a certain way. Scenario or multiple scenarios that you may have went through here, and they use that to manipulation, to cover up the abuse, or to more so inflict more abuse onto you. They've completely 100% denied everything that they have done. They're even telling people how they were good to you, or how they did the best that they could with you, or more so, they're telling people that they gave up everything to take care of you. I wouldn't say you have to give up everything, but isn't that what you're supposed to do as a parent? When you decide to get pregnant, or to carry for a child, or to take care of a child, it comes with a lot of heavy responsibilities to ensure the well-being of the child's mind, the body, and the soul of the child. So I'm not understanding why they feel they can use certain excuses to get out of what they did not do. They didn't raise you. They didn't do anything for you. They did not. They don't care anything about you. If they could, you may have went days without eating. You may have been cooped up in a room for days upon days because they didn't like your attitude. They didn't like the way you were saying things. They didn't like your response to the question that they had for you. They didn't like you, period. And they wanted to abuse you because of that. Now that everything is falling at the waistline, their life is falling apart. Now they want to save face, and they want to say it's your fault as the reason why you went through what you went through. It was not your fault. I need to keep reminding you that it was not your fault. Especially when you have individuals that keep trying to project onto you, telling you something that's not true. Power is in reverse. They feel powerless. They feel like that they can't go up against a crowd of people or a community of people, these same group or community of people that are asking, why did you do this towards you? They can't answer it. All they can say, it was the collector's fault. How was it the collector's fault? They didn't listen. Well, why weren't they listening? Why weren't they listening? You have some parents out here that are very, very, very dark and evil spirited, very, very black-hearted, very bad-minded spirited, and will just watch you, will sit there and watch you squirm and watch you beg for assistance or help, and they would get off on that. They ain't talking about that though. They ain't talking about the many nights where they keep antagonizing you to get an extreme reaction out of you. They're not talking about that though. They're not talking about the nights where some of you guys may have been dragged out of bed because a spoon wasn't washed in a sink, or a plate or a fork wasn't washed within a sink. So they'll wake you up in the middle of the night to ensure that you wash everything out of the sink. They abuse you for the most smallest thing, the most simplistic thing. You leaving a piece of paper on the floor, you get hurt for that. You forgot to put the remote back in its proper place or spot. You got hurt for that. You didn't clean the plate. You didn't clean your plate off well enough. You got abused for that. Any little small little foolish thing that they can find to justify why they need to place hands on you, they did it. They did it. You are the talk of the town, and so is the so-called family dynamic that you have disconnected from. You are the talk of the town, and they are the talk of the town here. And they don't like the fact that people are pulling them up, or people are cornering them, or people are calling their bluff, or people are calling them out for the lies that they have said about you. There were a group of people that were willing to risk their lives to unalive yours. There were a community of people that were willing to risk their lives to unalive yours based on the lies that these family members have been saying about you. That's how deep it was. That's how serious it was. And all they can think about is that they can get a show, or they're receiving a show to see you falter, or to see you fall to your demise. It says family. Betray. Betraying family. That's what it says. Telling people how you're very disrespectful. You always talking back. You always got something to say. You don't ever sit still. You don't ever sit quiet. You're always tapping to your own beat, and that bothered them to where they want to abuse you. Many of you guys' lives have been wasted, yes, because they strategically made sure and placed you in a toxic cycle where they knew for a fact that you would never be able to come out of it. They wanted you to waste your time, your essence, your life. And that was something that was very near, important, and very dear to them, to ensure that you waste out your life this lifetime. They knew you had a lot of love, a lot of life to offer. They knew that since you were young. This is some crazy mess. They're going to have to find a safe place to retreat to, or to move to here, because they don't feel safe in their own home. Oh, well. We have freedom in reverse. They don't feel safe in their own home. They don't feel safe in their community here. Yeah, they feel like humanity, the world, basically. They feel like that people are trying to come after them. They feel like people are trying to cause harm to them. They feel like that they need some form of protection here, and they're not going to receive it. Some indicators or indication of childhood trauma is sexual abuse, natural disasters, household substances, accidents, institutional racism, military family related situations, community violence, bullying, national disasters or terroristic attacks, neglect, refugee or war experience, separation from a parent, death of a loved one, domestic violence, serious illness or accidents, family mental illness, witnessing domestic violence situations. It's so odd to know that you were placed in the family of just nothing but hysteria and chaos. You were. And they feel like the only way out to get out of the situation or the scenario of that family dynamic is if you went through abuse, but severe abuse. But they wanted to condition it to where you felt like abuse was okay and it will always be okay. That's why they were so adamant in you recognizing that it is okay to feel hurt, or it is okay to be hurt. We have the high priestess here. It was like a slow torture. It really was. That's what's coming out here. The moon could be a mother figure that may have done this towards you. Could be a Cancer energy. They were really hoping and thinking that you would have been affected by long-term exposure of abuse. Maybe some of you guys do resonate with that. Some of you guys don't. They wanted to debilitate you emotionally and psychologically so that way you don't move forward. So that way you don't ever have the confidence to speak up and out in regards to what is taking place here. I mean, they never expected you to speak out. They never expect you to be on, because if you're speaking out on social media and I'm speaking to you, thank you. They never expected you to speak out publicly. No. Because it's like, who gonna take your word for it? That's what they were banking on. Somebody may have put glass, like chipped glass pieces in your food, or glass shards within your food. You may have been given a lot of medicine when you were young too. Y'all remember Dimetapp or Robitussin? Those are the two medicines that are popping up. Dimetapp and Robitussin. You may have had to drink that before you went to bed. I'm also hearing Sudafed. I'm hearing Dimetapp, Sudafed, and Robitussin. We have the 10 of Swords here with the 5 of Cups. You were supposed to succumb to the medication that they were giving you. They were giving you over-the-counter medication, but they were giving it to you in lethal doses. So by the time you went to sleep, you may have felt very drowsy. You may have felt very lethargic. You didn't feel well. They were over-medicating you when you were young. We have the Empress in reverse. It was a mother figure that may have been doing this towards you, or a mother figure gave permission for another person to do this towards you here. Yeah, it was family. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Yep. You knew a lot of this mother figure secrets or father figure secrets. They were a party animal when you were young. You may have been around a lot of people when you were young. You may have been around a lot of party people. There may have always been parties where there were other type of things there, vices, while you were young. And they mainly use medicine to put you to sleep. We have the 5 of Swords here, the end of conflict. Anywho, let's just keep moving forward, y'all. Yeah, 5 of Wands. Arguing and fighting in regards to who should take responsibility for what they have done towards you. No one wants to take responsibility for what they have done towards you, but they'll be forced to. When a person has lied the majority of their lives, they're going to do everything possible to keep that lie or lies at the forefront. It's easier to live in lie than to actually live in truth. This is how they feel. To me, is actually easier to live in truth than to live in lies. That's just me. But we're not dealing with individuals that are very comfortable with truth. They're very comfortable with lies. And this individual group of people were willing to do whatever they needed to do to ensure that their lies stayed on top. They're willing to argue with you. They're willing to fight with you. They're even willing to put you under, whatever they need to do. And none of that's working here. They want this conflict to end, or they want all this to be put to rest or put to bed. And it's just not working out in the way that they anticipate. We have the Ten of Wands here. They feel very burdened. Burdened by life. Burdened by the many questions that many people have. And they don't want to answer it. They don't want to be bothered by the questions. They don't want to be bothered by other people. They take their status quo or how people see them very seriously, and their reputation is in the dump, and they're blaming you for that. Who cares? We don't care. They feel like that you should pay for their reputation going in the dirt. No, that's not going to work. We have 9 of Swords and we have 7 of Swords here. What's going to happen here is that since they want to continually want to press up on you or push up on you here, negative things are going to be happening for them. They're going to be forced to confess. Now, the reason why they're going to be forced to confess what they've done to you, because other things are happening within their whole family dynamic that they don't want to happen. They want it to stop. So they feel like that they're being pushed in a position where they have to confess. We have vitalities in reverse. They feel like that their energy is depleting or it's quickly leaving them. Could be a Taurus. They don't feel like that they have a lot of luck here. It could be a Capricorn here. So someone doesn't feel lucky with their health, or they don't feel lucky with their life source. Healing is also in reverse. Could be dealing with the Aries. So far we have Aries, Capricorn, and Taurus here. Somebody that want their life source to be replenished, or they want their energy to be replenished. They want to feel healed again, or they want to feel whole again. They never felt whole. Look, wholeness is in reverse. This is Aquarius. They never felt whole, but they just want to kind of feel like some form of normalcy moving forward, and it's not happening here. What they're trying to do is they're trying to erase all of the harsh memories that they have had from the past. Could be a Leo here. Somebody has throat cancer. Just a Leo energy has throat cancer. Could have been a smoker. Maybe could have been around secondhand smoke. I don't know. Someone's losing their is it called larynx? Laragynx? Something like that. Larynx. Something with the throat. That's being removed. Or the vocal cords or the vocal box is being removed. Someone has like lost their ability to speak. Someone may have surgery on their throat or their voice box. It could be removed. Larynx, thank you. Yes, thank you. Larynx, thank you. We have wisdom. Damn, there's a lot of negativity. So Leo and Aries, wisdom and victories in reverse. They don't have the correct wisdom or the correct information to heal their ailments or to heal their health. They don't have the right information. And the information that they're receiving is false, which is making their health deteriorate even faster. It's like, you know how sometimes when you may go to the doctors and you got to go to the pharmacy and they give you the medication. And you know, sometimes, not all the time, but there are some instances where the pharmacist may give you the wrong medication to the point where you just take the medication, but you don't read the information that's on that pamphlet. Like, that's what's happening here. They're just taking it as is, and they're not. It has changed, and we have adversity here. Damn, and grief. Like, stop talking. Stop talking. Why are you talking about the past? Why are you talking about what family members did to you? Because that's your prerogative. Because you can. They want you to surrender. Surrender what? There's nothing to surrender. Freedom is in reverse. The more you speak out, the more weaker they become. They're telling people you as a child, you were very hard to maintain, or you were very hard to control. But that's where they're stopping at. They're not telling the reason why you didn't want to listen. You have burden of tears here. They want you to pay for going against the family. I mean, it was never family to begin with. Family went against you. So, I mean, fair exchange ain't no robbery. Or they just want you to pay for talking about the secrets of the family. You were not supposed to do that. You were supposed to honor and respect and nurture the family. Family is not family, okay? It is what it is. Not all families, some families. But for the ones that are doing wicked things and trying to hide their hands behind their back, this is not family. You don't respect these people. You just consider them as just, you know, random people in the streets here. And they want to go to war with you. Whatever. They're incriminating themselves anyways. They said they didn't do anything towards you. They say you are the reason why you created the trauma, but yet they want to go to war against you. If you're supposed to be the reason why you created the childhood trauma, they're trying to set you up. They're trying to shut you up. But yet you were the reason why that you were going through childhood trauma. If you were the reason why you were going through childhood trauma, why are they trying to keep you quiet? Why are they trying to discredit the truth that you are speaking? Why are they fighting you tooth and nail to ensure that you never speak out if you were the one that created the childhood trauma? They didn't do what they said they didn't do to you, but they're the one that's running around like a chicken with no head on their shoulders. They said the things that you are saying is not true, but yet they can't stay still in regards to the thing that they said or claimed for it to not be true. They're trying to do damage control. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, Lord, y'all. Yeah, now they're trying to be an ear to the wall. They're trying to ear hustle into your life so they can do damage control. What is the collective saying? What do they know? Well, we need to know what they know. Why do you need to know what the collective know? If you said, karmic, you specifically said that it was the collective's fault as to why they created or generated the childhood trauma. So what difference does it make if we speak up or out? This is what I'm talking about here. What difference does it make? You have a bird's eye view of everything. You do. And they know you do. This looks like the Truman Show. I don't know if you ever seen that movie with Jim Carrey. You see that door opening right there? That looks like the Truman Show, literally. Like everything is just a dream. You see that door right there? And that's exactly how he removed himself, or he exited himself out of the actual show. That's exactly how it looks. You remove yourself from the programming or the deep conditioning or the deep programming of abuse. You did. You removed yourself. You did. Remember, they needed you to be a part of their plan. And if you're not a part of their plan, it's not going to work because they need you to self-sabotage yourself. And if you're not doing that, it's not going to work. So therefore, if you're not involved, the whole plan that they have, it's not going to work. One thing my so-called mother, or the mother figure I used to live with here, she would do the most craziest thing ever. I remember I was 9 years old and I asked for a specific, I love Cabbage Patch dolls. Even still to this day, I love Cabbage Patch. I love Cabbage Patch dolls. And I always told her I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll. So it was my 9th birthday and she got me something completely different from what I wanted. And in my own right, I didn't like the doll because that's not what I wanted. You asked me specifically what I wanted for my birthday, and I told you I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll, and you go ahead and you give me another doll that was nothing like the Cabbage Patch. So I was upset in my own right. I'm 9 years old. I have every right to be upset. Don't ask me to get me something, and then when it's time to give me the thing that you asked me in regards to what you want to get from me, you give me something different, and then you're mad at me, and then calling me selfish because I won't accept the thing that I don't want. It is what it is. So I exhibited that, and I got one of the worst whippings in my life. I mean, I had whippings all in my head, scars. My whole body was filled with welts. And that lady turned around and went outside and told the neighbors how she wailed on me and how she felt it was very justifiable. And I even heard the neighbors at the time. And the neighbor was like, yeah, that's very ungrateful of them. Why would they do this and that? And I was just like, wow, I was 9 years old at that time. And that lady beat me. She beat me to no end because I refused. I didn't want the doll. And after she beat me and put me to bed, the same doll that she so-called gave to me, she returned it to the store and made a whole mockery of the whole thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. They sure do. They sure do pretend. Look, sneaky. They sure do. And then narcissists here. They got to make themselves look good. Now they're in stuck energy because you became cold-hearted. You don't care anything about them. You don't care what happens. You just don't care at all. Okay? And we have karma, we have stuck energy here. They feel very stuck and they need help getting out of this karma, or they need help getting out of this stuck energy, and they're not. Stuck energy and stuck came out twice. Hey, Annette. Hey, boo. They're wanting to know if you're going to stay quiet or get quiet or step off your soapbox. Again, I can't tell you what to do, but for me, I would never hop off my soapbox in regards to what they have done towards me. You're going to hear it until you take your last breath. I don't care. Okay? So we have suffering in silence. Your mother saw joy in people interfering with you inappropriately. Your mother strategically placed people in your life to interfere with you inappropriately. That's all I'm going to say. They wanted to take away your innocence. Okay? They wanted to take away your innocence. They're going through financial failure right now. They have some form of paraphernalia, vices. They were very abusive towards you. They are burnt out by you because you won't stop talking. So they consider you as dangerous because you're telling all the secrets. I feel like the person that keeps the secrets is more dangerous than the person that speaks the secrets. Because the person that's speaking the secrets, they have nothing to hide. But yet the ones that are trying to keep their secrets from being exposed, they are more dangerous than the ones that are actually speaking the truth. Because how far are they willing to go to ensure that you don't speak that truth? And we all know that some have went very extreme to ensure that you did not, with transition in reverse. Emotional exhaustion is upright. They're emotionally exhausted by your truth. Well, what can they do to stop you from speaking out? Try to pre-transition you out? No. And I'm so with you, frutas and putas. I like your name first up on TikTok. They should have never lied on me in the first place. Like I always say, fair exchange ain't no robbery. If you get to lie on me or you feel comfortable lying on me, then you need to feel comfortable with the truth that I'm going to speak. And I'm going to speak it raw, hard, and harsh to your chest. I want you to feel that burning sensation that you feel when somebody is telling the truth. I want you to feel all of me, truthfully. And I'm going to give it to you just like that, raw with no lube. I don't give a flying F who you are. Don't you ever come up against me with lying foolishness. Because if you feel comfortable with lying, then you need to feel comfortable with telling the truth, or listening to the truth, or hearing the truth. It is what it is. You can't handle my truth, then don't tell lies. Don't want me to speak truth, then don't speak lies. Okay? we got Sagittarius that's stressed out here. And there's no fear in this world that's going to put me in a position where I would never not stop speaking truth. You're going to have to try hard or harder. The only thing that we are all promised in this world is, okay? And that don't even scare me. So you're going to have to try hard, boo. The one thing that is promised to everyone, and that's the one thing that don't scare me, try harder. Okay, what else is there? You're not afraid of me? No, Heifer. We got Uranus here. Okay, Uranus and what? In Venus. Then we have the sun in Aquarius. So it could be an Aquarius, could be a fire sign, it could be a Libra sign. So Uranus could be in Aquarius, Uranus could be in a fire sign, Uranus could be in a Libra sign. But it's definitely strong air, Aquarius or Libra, or strong fire. So you may have a Venus, you may have a fire sign in Venus energy, or you may have an air sign in Venus. So Aquarius in Venus, Libra in Venus, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries in Venus, or it could be in Uranus. When these individuals are in their South Node. I recently heard a story about a young girl. This morning I read it. Could be a Sagittarius. And it was a young girl. She probably in her early 20s or so. She went outside with a couple of girls. And before she passed, she did pass. She said something like, I should have rolled with you. She was talking to another friend at the time. And the friends that she currently with at the time, she felt very uncomfortable. So they took her out in the middle of the street in the middle of the night to be twerking. And one of the so-called friends ran her over and unalived her. I read about it this morning. I don't have time for friends. I don't care about this friend situation. Titles don't mean anything. It's just, there's just so much evil in this world, and even from younger ages here, it's very tiring. It's very tiring. And I'm in a space or state where I really don't care if I have friends or not anymore, because people are just willing to harm other people for the most silliest thing ever. The most silliest thing ever. The most jealous thing. Like, it's ridiculous. You can't even share your success or successors with other people without them getting upset or getting irate or wanting to be envious of you or wanting to be jealous of you. You can't even, if you're in a connection, you can't even introduce your significant other to other people without them trying to take them from underneath your nose. Like, it's just too much. The girl said before she pre-transitioned out, she felt very unsettled. She felt like something was up. She couldn't put her finger on it. Use your discernment. Pay attention to how you are feeling. I don't care where you are. You could be in a store, in a grocery store. If that pit feeling in your stomach is coming about, get the hell up out that store. If you're on a certain highway and you're getting a pit within your stomach and your spirit is telling you, hey, let me exit off, follow your discernment. I don't care how long you've been friends with someone. I don't care how long you've been in connection with a mother or father, brother, whatever, however. Listen to the voice of your soul. That is your inner guidance of personal self, the inner GPS. And we all know that when we were growing up, that no one taught us, collectively, generally speaking, how to follow the voice of our soul. They did not want you to follow that. They wanted you to neglect that. They wanted you to neglect yourself. And this is a very crucial time in the times that we're living, that it is imperative that you listen to the discernment of self. It's imperative. If you don't do anything else, protect yourself and listen to that guidance of the self or the soul. Don't go against that. Don't go against yourself. Never, ever, ever go against yourself. Because there's some people out here that are waiting for you to do just that, to ensure that you're not able to continue to see the light of your ways. or the light of your guidance or the guidance of your light. Do not. Okay, so Bunny Shy Girl says on Instagram, it's hard sometimes. So why do you feel it's hard listening to your discernment? So I can give you a few pointers. Why do you feel it's hard to listen to your discernment sometimes? Could be an earth sign, however it resonates. Thank you. Compassion and passion is in reverse. Compassion is upright, but compassion is upright, passion is in reverse. They didn't want you to be passionate about yourself. They didn't want you to have compassion for self. Okay, so you say family scares me to tell the truth. Okay, what exactly are they doing that is putting you in a position to make you afraid of them? Let's break that down. Family scares me to tell the truth. Okay, valid point. Okay. What exactly are they doing to ensure that you are afraid so you don't speak up? What pointers or what examples are they doing to you to keep you in a scared space or in a fear state? What are they doing towards you? All right, we have memory here. You could be working with Mami Wata. Mami Wata reminds me of Oya. She really do. Or Medusa a bit. Someone may love water. You may love being in water. You could be initiated or becoming initiated into water. You could be working with Orishas. Also, I'm hearing you're being initiated in regards to stronger protection, or there's a stronger protection field that is surrounding you. You could have been asking for more protection. You're in alignment with that. Okay, they make me look bad for speaking out. I am the problem, not their lies. Okay. But where's the fear? So what I'm asking you is, where does the fear come in with all of this, is what I'm asking you. And the reason I'm asking you this is going to help you break down parts that you might not have seen before. This is called shadow work. They need to use fear in a way to get you to stop speaking out. And if they're able to pinpoint in regards to what exactly make you afraid, then they have won. So that's why I'm asking you. They make me look bad for speaking out. Does that make you afraid? Does that put you in a fear space that they make you look bad? What could they potentially say towards you to make you look bad if you know it's not the truth? Because people are going to talk whatever they need to talk, but just because they talk, it doesn't make it the truth. If that makes sense? You're the problem for speaking truth? Are you the problem or are you the solution for speaking truth? The problem are the lies. That's the problem. They make me look bad for speaking out. I am the problem, not their lies. You're not the problem, you're the solution. The huge problem here that a lot of people are experiencing here is the lies that they speak. That's the problem. You're not the problem, you're the solution. Truth is a solution to lies. Truth are the remedies to lies. Okay, you say you feel shame. Why do you feel shame? Where did that shame stem from? Where's that shame stemming from? Right. The others go with it to feel safe with lies or to feel safe with truth. So do you feel shame for speaking truth or do you feel shame for speaking lies? Because if truth is going to set you free, right? Speaking the truth is going to set you free. They're going to do everything possible to shame you for speaking that truth. See, a lot of people don't realize that when you speak truth, it comes with a lot of things. It really do. It just depends on how you perceive that thing. But the truth is so shattering, is an eye opener that it can really shift things in a great perspective. If that makes sense. So I want to ask you specifically, I know you say the others go with it to feel safe, but we're not talking about others. We're speaking specifically about you, respectfully. What could you do to get yourself out of feeling shame for speaking truth? Yes, Miss Brandy says, so is it a fear of upsetting people for speaking truth? Which is a great question. Because if it's them that's projecting the fear, then it's not your fear to begin with. They need you to act accordingly, or they need you to be portrayed or be seen as something that you're not. And if they're the one that keeps trying to project the fear onto you and it's not your fear, then you shouldn't be holding on to something that don't belong to you. Most people's first fears, believe it or not, starts within a family dynamic. And a lot of people are not aware of that, and that's the confirmation here. That's the clarity and the confirmation that you may need. That sometimes the fear or the scariness starts within a family dynamic. But the truth is what's going to set you free. People not believing you, okay? But mostly people that don't believe individuals like ourselves are people that may have never experienced what you've experienced. So it's going to be very hard, or it may come off as very far-fetched towards another person who have never experienced what you went through. So yeah, it's going to feel like you're wasting your time and you're wasting your breath because you're reaching out or you're trying to tell someone something that they can't comprehend or understand. And some people just can't understand what you went through because they never experienced it. Can you blame them? So knowing that you're telling, hey, and I went through, you ain't went through that. What you talk about? That don't happen. That never happened. That never this. You just The reason behind a soul tribe is to find individuals or connect with like-minded individuals as yourself that may have experienced what you went through. Here comes that each one teach one. You may not be aware that there are many options and resources and solutions out there, because you may feel in this time or space that you are the only person that may have experienced or went through it. I know, because I experienced that. When I was able to find my soul tribe, I was like, wait, you went through that too? You went through that? Like, I really thought I was the only one that went through what I went through. But it wasn't until I was able to get a new perception or a new outlook on the situation that I realized that, wow, this is, And all that happened for a reason, because my so-called family wanted to keep me stuck to where I didn't learn about the world, because they knew if I learned about the world, they knew that their life would be over. They knew this. That's why they took strategic steps to ensure that I would never find out about the world or learn about the world. Yeah, so when you speak, it's like it goes on deaf ears, but your character prevails. Agreed. We all here to ascend to our higher self. Agreed. Oh, what is this new thing on TikTok, child? Golly. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you kindly. We have stability and we have channel. Stability is in reverse. Channel is upright. They don't want you to be stabilized within yourself or the foundation of self. They don't want you to have autonomy of self to be able to channel the messages that are coming through. They want you to just believe what they are saying, and you just can't. You ever saw bedazzled shit before? Because that's mostly what these so-called family members look like. They look bedazzled, but just in pure elephant watery shit. And they got to make that poop look good by bedazzling it out. I don't care what you put on it, it's still going to smell and look like poop. People love to decorate their poop. They love to make it extravagant, make it look like something that it should not be. And it smells like poop. So if you can see, just because it's bedazzled, but you can still see and smell that poop from a mile away, why are you entertaining it? They do need to be locked up, but how can they be locked up if you don't speak out? That's the catch-22 right there. They strategically put you in a fear-based simulation or experience or reality to get you not to speak out. They put so much pressure on you to the point where they don't want you to speak out. You got to pay attention to the signs. It's bedazzled crap is what it is. That's all it is. That's how they look. That's how they feel. That's how they sound. That's what it is. If you want things to change, you're going to have to be the change. That means you, mind, body, and soul. Mind-wise, not being around things that can influence you in a negative way. Your environment, listening to certain things, being around certain individuals, gossip. That's mind. The body, not putting things within your body that can potentially slow your body down. Do things in moderation. Eat in moderation. And then the soul. Not picking up with things or being around other people whose energies could be very icky or not clean, and they're trying to project their negativity onto you. Birds of a feather flock together. If there are 5 imbeciles that are together and they're doing knucklehead things and you are the 6th person around, eventually you're going to be just like them. If at any point in time you feel like you cannot speak the truth, then there might be a strong indicator that there might be something you should revisit the confidence of self. If you feel nervous, you feel afraid, you feel scared, then that might mean that you may have some issues with confidence. And if you do, solar plexus, sacral chakra. You can work with your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. You can look on Google how to stimulate your sacral chakra or your solar plexus. You can listen to frequencies. So many different ways to work with it. Hi, Queen. Thank you. They put you in fear. Listen to me. They put others in fear because if there is enough fear, it's going to destabilize you. It's going to put you in a standstill. It's going to make you become stagnant. It's going to make you become still, quiet, frozen, hush. That's what fear do or can do to a person. And they know this. That's why they keep doing it towards you. The more fear that they have you in, based on what they did to you, the more they're going to feel like they're winning. And no one, this is me, I'm speaking for me specifically. Not a muff won't put fear in my heart. Not AMF. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. Let me get out of here. I got stuff to do. Maybe I might come on and talk about fear, break it down even more. Because is that something you guys will be interested in, learning the concept behind fear, where it came from, where it originated from, how to transmute that? I can talk about fear. I can break that down for you if you are interested. If you are, let me know. I'll do my own research on my end and I'll come back on here and help you. Just let me know. Tell me what's up. We got Capricorn. Okay. I'll break down fear for you. All right. We got Virgo. We have Leo. Okay. I got you. All right. Aquarius. We'll break it down then. Okay. We have Capricorn. Aries. We have Scorpio. Sag. Scorpio, one more. And Taurus. Okay, so if that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I don't know when I'll be able to come back on with the fear topic, but I'll definitely do my research. And of course, I'll let you guys know. But if it do resonate with you in any way, shape, or form, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Till next time, love you guys. Bye, TikTok. Mwah. See you, babies. Mwah. My Instagram and Facebook, I'm going to repost it so you can see, okay? Bye, YouTube. Love ya. See y'all on the next one.